Hello, this is Jonathan Green. This is Jonathan Green from Atmospheric Endeavors, and today I'm going to talk to you about the Nokia N95, which I've been using for a couple days and am seriously enjoying. But first I wanted to start with a little comparison here. I've got the N73, which has really been my day-to-day device for I guess about 6 months, and the N80, which is really the sibling to the N95 in form factor and I think, in a lot of ways actually, both from performance, although the N95 takes it to a whole new level, as I will show you. So first, I just wanted to show you the sides of all the devices so you get a sense for the size. So here's N93, the 95, and of course the 80. I think that the 95 and 93 are pretty similar in thickness, the 80 being the thickest, but also sort of the stubbiest, so it's the shortest, and the N93 being the tallest. There you go. Okay, let's show the backs. All three use a similar, battery door there. The N73 here has a slider to open the camera, which closes it up. The N95 has this guy here, which opens it up that way. And the N80, is open. They all have flash. This is a 5 megapixel Carl Zeiss lens optic. This was 3 and this was 3.2. Okay, moving to the final side here. Just give you another sense. And I'll go into more detail on the 95 in a second. And again to the front. Alright, so let's get rid of these guys. Just quickly, just to show you here, we've got stereo speakers on either side of the unit, which can give some spatial stereophonic effects with ringtones and or music. The speakers get quite loud. I'll give a sample of that. We've got our VGA camera here, which of course does not work in the US. I believe this is our, is that the light sensor? We've got the earpiece here. We've got zoom and volume depending on what you're doing. This is our slideshow play button. This is our shutter for the camera. Okay, and then on the other side we've got our micro SD, which I actually have a spare one. Where did it go? In this little thing, which if I can open, there we go. Just give you a sense. If you don't know what micro SD is, it was also known as trans flash up until, I don't know when actually, I guess until the SD people decided that they wanted to name it. But there you go. This is a tiny piece of flash memory. This is 2 gigs. I've got a 2 gig card in the device as well. That's the maximum that it supports. Again, that goes in right there. We've got infrared if that's something that you need. And we also have our 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, which means you can use high-end and existing equipment, which is excellent because this can crank out some serious tunes. So the N95, as you've probably seen, is a dual slider, which means we can slide up like this and have access to the phone keypad, or we can slide like this and it becomes reveals our media keys, and then this is actually our applications navigation, the default being into gallery, although this is fully customizable, and again I'll show you that. So the phone stays in landscape when you close it, unless you slide it all the way back up, and then it'll switch over to portrait. So one more thing before we go deep here. We've got our soft keys, and you can see the phone auto-locked automatically. There is a way to turn that off, although unlike others, Ricky, I actually like this. So we've got soft keys, which are programmable. We've got our send and end keys. We've got the pencil, which allows you to do some editing or selecting. We've got the C, which is the delete, our applications key. This was, I actually forget what this is called on this device. It was called the media key in prior units, and actually, if you don't mind, I'll even consult the lovely little book which I've got in my hand. So that's, it's still called the multimedia key, but what it does in this case is open up that other menu that I showed you with one caveat, which is if we press and hold on it, I believe this is programmable as well, our media player will open, and as you can see it's defaulted to the standard Moby song. So just for Stefan, I will I'll play this. Alright, so while that's playing, if my device was unlocked, I can go about my business, as you would expect. I can control volume. You can see here, it's actually, maybe you can't actually see. There we go. You can see it's actually now playing in my active screen here. I can select it, bring back up the media player, and stop it, which I'm going to do. And I'm also going to exit this. And here we go. So on the active screen here, you've got your standard calendar items. We've got a Wi-Fi scanner, which is nice. I've got mine set to be off by default. We've got 6 applications key for active standby, which is very helpful, and you can make those into whatever you want. I'm still playing around with how I like mine. You can see here I've got active Wi-Fi. I've got conditional forwarding on. That's what that icon is for my voicemail. So I use Grand Central. I've got Bluetooth on, and I also have internet SIP calling activated with TruePhone, at least for the moment. So because this little guy, this clover icon is dark, that means I have an active Wi-Fi connection, and it's active because TruePhone automatically detected that I'm here at home. So let's go into how things work here. So this is pretty basic. You've got your standard functions here within the main applications menu. If I go here though, you can see I can actually activate icon animation, which is kind of interesting. So there we go, things sort of move towards you a little bit, which is a little superfluous in my book, so I'm actually going to turn it off, but just to show you that it's there. Kind of cool. Similarly, if we flip over into landscape mode, I pressed it a little too long, so we went into the media player instead here. So here in this mode, when you move through this, we can actually now see a different way to see your applications. And again, these are customizable, so you can make it whatever you want. Okay? So let me just quickly show you the music player. So that's kind of cool, and I'm already in this mode. So I've got access to media at any point from any time I'm in the system here with fast forward, play, pause, rewind, stop. Let's see if I can do this like this. Okay. Sorry, I'll try to keep it down. Perfect. Press it a little too quickly and you're out of there. So here you've got your standard, media player looking menu. So we can go to the playlist, artists, albums, etc. Go into artists. You can see I've got a bunch of tracks here, mix of genres, as well as some podcasts. So if I pick this Dire Straits song, let's just play that. Now I haven't embedded the cover art here, so you're not going to see that. But it's definitely possible for that to be displaying right there. I can actually go into Visualizer. So I don't have the cover art there, so that's not going to work. However, if this is of interest to you, again, personally I find this a tad superfluous, but it's kind of fun. If you want to show off. Alright, so we get out of this. And that's our music menu. So the other thing we can do here, I can at any point, we can browse the web. I'll show you that. And we're going to do this in landscape mode. So I think we'll just go to Twitter. Pick my Wi-Fi connection. And I'm not going to spend too much time here. This, in basic form, is the standard S60 browser. However, since this is Feature Pack 1, one of the very cool things you can do here is click in a vacant space using the 5-way. And you see I've got a menu here. And this one is my history. This guy, I believe, give me the map. There we go. These buttons are a little tight. So if I press on something that you weren't expecting, I wasn't expecting it either. That's definitely something to get used to compared to previous devices. This is actually almost a little too cramped for me. Considering where the pencil, the clear key, it's very difficult with two hands to actually select multiple things when you want to edit something, or if you want to select all your messages in MMS or SMS. So quickly, I can refresh, I can search, and I can actually search at any time that I want. And then this last one is my feeds. So since I'm on my Twitter page, I've got 3 different options for feeds that I can subscribe to. And get out of this, go to options, bookmarks, and the web feeds is actually pretty cool. So this is actually my Twitter stream in RSS. I've got this set to update every 15 minutes, just as a nice way, instead of receiving a barrage of SMS messages. This is a slightly more convenient way if you're going to be in a mode where you don't want to get pinged constantly, at least for Twitter. But you can subscribe to any RSS feed that you would. Okay, so that's pretty much that. We've got our GPS, Nokia Maps. I did a much detailed overview of this with the N73, and essentially the program is exactly the same. I'm indoors, so I probably won't get a signal. Never know. I was actually using it outside recently, so hopefully it'll at least think where we are. There we go. I still, according to this, don't actually have an active connection. Right, so kind of close. I'm just going to get out of this. You can pay for point-to-point navigation. You can activate voices for free, which is kind of cool. We've got games, System Rush, and Snake are the 2 that come with the device. System Rush is a pretty cool, I guess it's like a pod racing dude. So just get in there quickly. Alright, so you can fly around this sort of trippy world, get on the tracks. You have to do stuff like avoid the enemies, pick up power-ups, all kinds of stuff, and do it before the time runs out, which I don't know that I'm going to do. No. So we'll get out of that. Alright, let me flip back this way. Let's see, so what else can I show you quickly? Oh, I know. So the menus here are totally different. And in fact, it takes a little getting used to if you've been using any sort of standard 3rd edition device, or 2nd edition for that matter. Things have changed considerably. So when I go into settings, you'll see this is a much consolidated menu. Under General, I've got personalization, so all the little details here. They're just not necessarily in the places you might normally expect them. But once you sort of get a feel for it, you can figure out where everything is. We've got multiple options for what happens and which is the default for music or for sound output. So whether you're using a car or you're kind of a headset or headphones. Okay. Let's quickly scan down here so you can see this if you haven't. Applications. Okay, it's just some preferences for the standard apps, which is nice. Actually, I don't even know if that's all the standard apps. It's some stuff that I've... No, these are the pre-installed applications. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about this device. So when it's closed, you can see that there's some flecks here, and I don't really like that, but it's not horrible. When it's open, it doesn't do that. The device doesn't creak much, and I think in general the build quality here is really good. Considering, move the camera. Considering what's in here, you know, you've got a 5 megapixel camera. You can shoot 30 frames per second, 640 by 480 video, which is DVD quality, they say. It looks fantastic. The files are just enormous. You've got a GPS. It makes great phone calls. Bluetooth connectivity is excellent. If you are in a European location, you can activate the UMTS service as opposed to Wi-Fi for high-speed, wireless WAN access, which is cool. Unfortunately, it doesn't work here because we support a different frequency. But that's pretty much it for now. I guess overall, I'm really very pleased with how this device works. In general, the speed at which things happen is much faster. I don't actually have a whole lot of messages here, but it's much faster than the other devices I've used. The N80 was quick, but not as quick as this, as far as deleting messages, moving through things, and just using the device. One caveat I've noticed is that there does not seem to be a whole lot of internal memory, so I run into memory issues if I have a second window open in the browser, and I've got Gmail open. But those are things I've been learning to live around, unfortunately, because this is a $750 Uber phone. This is the ultimate multimedia computer from Nokia currently, and is something that I would hope would have a little bit better memory. I don't know if that's something that can be addressed in firmware, but maybe it can. So I'm Jonathan Green, again with Atmospheric Endeavors, and I will catch you later.